The Voice outrage. 80% of fans say Devix of Team Camila was wrongfully eliminated. How do you feel about that? Ashley Bowden here with Hollywood Junket. We are here with season 22, The Voice contestant Devix. Devix, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And first of all, I want to ask how your mom is doing.
She's doing all right. She's back in town in my area. She was in New Jersey for quite some time, but she purchased a rental, or not a rental, what is it called? A trailer home out
Oh,
in the
nice.
Dover area, which is nice too. So she's closer to home, closer to me and my brothers, and still with my sister there.
Okay. Okay. Good to hear that mom is doing good. We will continue to keep your family lifted up in prayers and positive energy. Um, but so moving on, I wanted to ask you something. There's a headline that reads this specifically.
Mhm.
A, the Voice outrage. 80% of fans say Devix of Team Camila was wrongfully eliminated. How do you feel about that?
Um, it's a bittersweet kind of mixed emotion feeling about it. Just because I don't feel that it would necessarily like that wrongfully would be the correct word. I know there's a lot of people rooting for me, and I was we're hoping I would move forward, and I was too. But I think, I mean, all good journeys have to come to an end, and I feel like I had a really good time on the show. I feel like I've learned a decent amount. There was a lot of progression, and I kind of feel like I went out with a bang,
Mhm.
and that I couldn't really ask for much more than that. So I mean, better to end on a high note than any other note.
Yeah. And just speaking of what you've learned, what would you say you have learned or gained from your time on the show?
Um, a big thing, or the biggest thing I think I've learned from the show is just to kind of accept myself in a lot of different ways, but especially as a performer. I had a lot of good talks about just realizing that if you're looking for an invitation to the stage, like it's already been given. You know, these people are already showing up. They're already there to watch. They're already there to listen. So realistically, like what you're looking for is already there.
Oh, nice. Okay. So I wanted to ask you, what was the most unexpected surprise, good or bad, that you encountered while competing on The Voice?
Um, Hard question, but
Okay.
I guess the biggest unexpected thing to happen was honestly to kind of move as far as I did. I think
Hmm.
once I got into each next round, I proved my worth of being there. Um,
Hmm.
but I honestly didn't see any bit of my genre or the types of songs that I like to sing moving that far in the show, because I just know that the general demographic with the show kind of leans towards a couple of more popular genres, and I came in from this obscure route, obscure background of music. So I was surprised pleasantly to see how far I got.
Yeah, and I was looking at some of the comments. A lot of people, a lot of the fans were very excited to just have someone representing your genre on the show because it's
Mhm.
not all that we see that. So that's an
Right.
awesome thing. So who have you made any like personal connections on the show? Who's your new bestie from The Voice?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've made quite a few friends, and unfortunately, we lose people, week after week and month after
Yeah.
month. I think the people I grew closest to would have been Sasha Hurtado, Alyssa Witrato, and Zach Newbold, amongst many others as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's been more than just time on the show with them. It's been like a legitimate friendship that grows outside of it.
I love that. Any collabs you're working on with any of them?
Nothing directly in the works at the moment, but there's plans of it. Yeah.
Ooh, with who?
um, Yeah, I think me and Sasha are trying to figure out how we're going to go about maybe our battle song, or just some other ideas that we've kind of, just I don't know, talked through, I guess, so far. Um, it was a really cool realization to find out that our tones were really well matched. So I guess we're gonna see what we can do with that.
Oh yeah, we'll be waiting. And based on the artists that are still left on the show, we're now at the top 8. Who are you rooting for?
I gotta jump straight to Morgan, honestly. I mean, gotta represent Team Camila, but I mean, I love them all. Justin is definitely a favorite of mine as well, and I thought his battle was just incredible, and he's done nothing but shine every single time. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, just to name it two or a few, that would be two of them.
Hmm. And who are any of the people that have been sent home so far out of the group of people that who have been sent home? Who are you most shocked by?
Um, Honestly, off the bat, I was very shocked about Sasha going home.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm a little biased there because we've grown so close over the show, but I honestly think that she's one of the more outstandingly like unique people that we had. Just vocally, there wasn't anyone really matching her.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's to me, that's the epitome of the show, is to find someone that doesn't sound um like if someone else were to sing what they're singing, that you could, the point is to tell the difference and who sounds like they stick out a little bit more. And that's what I think she was for me. I was like, that was also like a fan favorite thing.
Yeah, definitely unique. What artist do you think will take the win, or give me your top 3 prediction?
Top three prediction. Um, I'm gonna say again Morgan. Um, I think Justin's got a pretty solid shot, and I would probably say Omar as well. I
Hmm.
think they are again along the same lines of who kind of sticks out in their own very unique way. Those are three that I think of. They all have something really special to bring to the table, and they're very individualistic too, personality wise. They're coming from three different backgrounds. They're three different styles completely, and they're a lot of fun to watch on stage too.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. And during your time on the show, who would you say was your stiffest competition?
Um, hmm. Like along the live shows or just across the show in general?
Let's narrow it down to, well, give me across the show in general, and then if it
Okay,
differs from the live show, then yeah, give me that too.
sure. I think in a really weird way from across the bunch of the show was cello. I feel like we both were very different. I mean, everyone's different in their own way, regardless. But he and I were very like toward indie. Like I don't think we really covered the same types of music, but I think we had
Hmm.
these indie approaches to what was happening, vocally and progression wise. And then not to mention, we have a lot of similar, just everything across the board. We're both, uh, I mean, just sounded like physicalities too. Like we're both, curly headed, probably roughly the same height. I think he's a little bit taller, but I mean, like, same likings of music, both from the Pennsylvania, like Philly-ish area. Um,
Hmm.
there was just a lot of similarities. I was saying, we're both multi-instrumental, so there's just so much going on there. I was like, oh man, like they're gonna have to cut one of us at some point. And I mean, I'm lucky. I'm so glad like we both made it to like a pretty solid point in the show.
Hmm.
Um, and then I don't know, during the live shows, it was kind of hard to answer that only because they really started to allow us to take our like own lane completely.
Hmm.
Um, I don't feel that anyone else was really going. I mean, I don't think I intentionally was going toward the rock, lane, but that is kind of what happened. Um, I like to consider myself more just alternative and indie altogether.
Hmm.
But I would say in that respect to genre and kind of where I was headed, that probably Omar would have been a pretty stiff competition for me, just because we both I could see a future blend of where we would maybe start to clash on the show a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, like if he covered a classic rock song, it would have been like, oh, we'll see what happens to me then, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair. So now that you're back home, how has being acclimated back into your normal daily life been since being on the show?
Day to day, it's been It's kind of rough to say right now, only because when I went back, I was only there for roughly a week, and I actually flew out to. I'm actually in Nashville right now,
Oh, wow.
just kind of like exploring a little bit and reuniting with some friends from the show.
Mhm.
Um, Kind of going back into the real world is another bittersweet moment. I feel like there's a lot of things where I'm just realizing, especially with having narrowed our time down to, these 90-second songs that we were working on for, maybe sometimes
Mhm.
a month at a time. And it just made me realize how much time that not necessarily was wasted, but that could have been used elsewhere that, like could have progressed my career much further than it has been. It really puts time in perspective. Um, so I think the bitterness comes from, me realizing I need to kind of shift how I'm spending my time at home, maybe not going out so much, maybe sitting, with my equipment a little bit more and just kind of getting into my own zone and kind of going back to a little bit of the person I used to be in order to create much more, maybe just being a little more introverted for a little while.
Mm. You got to lock in and
Yeah,
focus, as we all do, right?
right.
We all have to lock in and focus. Well, Devix, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for
Where
having me.
can fans find you? How can they connect with you? How can they find your music?
Sure. I am running all social media tags under Devix Music, so that's the handle.
Mhm.
Um, the only difference is the website, I think, and that's devixofficial.com. Um, the website also has a link to all social media as well. And then I'll be posting, that when things start to really get put into place, I'll be posting updates and stuff. For now, it's just a little bit of the usual social media stuff. But yeah, some bigger things are coming. So
Awesome. And we are definitely looking forward to it. Again, thank you, Devix. You guys, this is Devix. I'm Ashley Bowden, and this is Hollywood Junket.